season's here, and guess what? The most dreaded rank is back. The Nightmare rank. Now, some of you might have dodged it by flying straight to Mythic with your pro friends. Lucky you. But for solo X.Borg players like us, where we can't always control our teammates, this rank can be a serious pain. X.Borg's zoning game is strong, but he's not exactly known for his burst or ambush capabilities. So what do you do when you get paired with teammates who barely know their roles? Don't worry, I've got your back. In this video, I'll give you some solid tips to help you conquer the Nightmare rank solo as an X.Borg main. Let's jump into it. Kamusta everyone, I'm gyou, and I make mlbb gameplay videos, tips, and tutorials. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. It helps more X.Borg players find this content. Can we hit 100 likes? I know we can. Now let's get started with the first tip. Always aim for the jungler position if it's free. If you're going solo, with no fixed roles like you would have by joining a lobby recruit, try to grab the jungler role. Why? Because being a jungler gives you more control over the map. Even though X.Borg isn't great at ambushing, you can still make a huge impact by securing objectives like the Turtle and Lord and turning the tide in the late game. But what if someone else locks in jungle before you? The next best option would be to go for the XP lane. However, if someone already snagged that, I'd recommend playing roam. But this is tricky for X.Borg since he's not an ambush hero. So don't pick him right away. Wait for the enemy's draft. If they choose high mobility ambush heroes like Karina, Gusion, or Lancelot, maybe switch to a different roam hero. But if their team looks tanky with heroes like Barret's, Baxia, or Fredrin, then X.Borg roaming could work. Just build tanky, give your team vision, and zone the enemies. Quick tip. If your first pick and both jungle and EXP lane are taken, sometimes it's better to preserve your win rate by choosing a different hero. You can't always force a win, and that's okay. If you want a deep dive into when to pick X.Borg, the best roles for him, and the ideal builds for this season, check out my full guide. It's linked in the description.
These are not fireflies, they're my dancing flames!
Prioritize damage but adapt as the game goes on. In higher ranks like Mythic, I usually go for a tankier build. Maybe start with Guardian Helmet or Immortality, since I can trust my teammates to know their roles and dish out damage. But in Nightmare rank, you can't count on your team for that. That's because in Nightmare rank, your teammates are usually glued to their lane. And let's be honest, they're not always willing to help with objectives. So, early on, focus on damage. Build offensively and help your team with DPS. As the game progresses, you'll have to adapt. If your team is doing well and you've got map control, go full damage, Sky Piercer and Blade of Despair, then end the match quickly. But if your team is struggling and feeding, you'll need to shift to a more defensive build late game to survive and keep zoning the enemy. Remember that X.Borg is an exceptional zoning hero. This might sound basic, but in the chaos of Nightmare rank, it's easy to forget your main job. Zoning. This is where X.Borg shines. Let me share a quick example. In one match, I was the jungler, and we were losing early because their Karina kept ambushing us. But by late game, I zoned out Karina and their marksmen, leaving their Carmilla and Benedetta vulnerable, and my team cleaned them up. That zoning turned the game around for us and led to a comeback victory. Even if your team is behind, your zoning can make all the difference, so don't underestimate this aspect of X.Borg.
Hot enough for ya?
Be the bigger person, yes, even when your teammates are toxic. Okay, I know it can be tough when your teammates are being toxic, but trust me on this one, mute them if they start stressing you out. It's way better than getting caught up in the drama. Lead by example. Even if they criticize you early on, don't take it personally. Just prove them wrong by playing well. I've had games where someone called me the worst X.Borg ever, but by sticking to my role and zoning properly, I earned their trust and we turned things around. So, those are my tips and tricks for surviving the Nightmare rank as a solo X.Borg player. It's not always going to be easy, but by following these strategies, you'll definitely improve your chances of winning.
I'm gonna incinerate Iridatio until it's nothing but a pile of ash!
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, keep that fire burning.